The glory of Cygames has fallen. On January 8, 2026, Cygames posted this following announcement on their X stating this.
We are pleased to announce the establishment of our wholly owned subsidiary, Cygames AI Studio Company, Limited, which will focus on the development and provision of services and tools utilizing AI. For more details, please see below.
And with the link that directs you to their website with a brief introduction about their new AI studio. With this announcement, Cygames received a huge amount of backlash on Twitter. Cygames is a video game development company making many well-known games like Shadowverse, Grand Blue Fantasy, Princess Connect, The Idol Master, Cinderella Girls, and of course Uma Musume Pretty Derby. The success of the company is undoubtable, especially in Japan. The announcement of making an AI studio gained a huge amount of attention from all around the world, as Uma Musume have just achieved a huge success recently in the globe, gaining huge popularity and even achieved the best mobile game in 2025. Many people are upset with Cygames' decision and questioning why Cygames would do such a thing. Why is opening an AI studio viewed as a bad thing for Cygames? AI in the creative space has always been looked down by the average majority. That is because a single AI-generated product is based on using existing products made by real people, whether that's a photo, a video, or the focus of this case, a drawing. AI-generated images looks the way it is right now because it uses the drawings of real artists as sources. AI studies the image and trains to the style of the drawing and generates a similar style of the image based on the user prompt. Artists do not give authorization to AI users to use their art for AI training, meaning that AI users, regardless who it is, are violating the intellectual property of artists by using their art for AI model training. In simple words, people steal other people's art to let AI make good-looking images. It is morally incorrect, unethical, and a complete disrespect to any artist. The worst part is when these AI images are used for monetization of any form, such as social media attention, subscriber-based services like Patreon, or being utilized by big companies. Many people dislike the AI images for this reason, and many people just simply prefer the work of a real artist. In addition, the result of AI-generated products always gives out a sense of cheapness in terms of both the quality and the cost. The quality of AI-generated products are inconsistent. There are always some form of discrepancies between generated products, like between the frames, or between images of the same characters. Usually in the details like how the clothes look like, or the shape of an accessory or a logo. Many refers to these AI products as AI slops. Also, since many people understand the fundamental of how to use Gen AI, which is essentially just type in a couple words and press generate button. We all know how cheap cost-wise it is compared to, say, hiring a real artist or a whole film group. We might not know the exact number, but we know having someone typing in a couple words in a few minutes is much cheaper than having, say, someone draw an image for 3 days. And when you put this in mind and think about when large companies, with all the monies and resources they have available, decides to take a shortcut and rely on AI to generate their product, that is when you can really feel the cheapness from their actions. So what does all these have to do with Cygames? Well, people are afraid that Cygames are on the path to present Gen AI work, removing the real talents in their company for their future game development, and delivering sloppy AI product. From the official announcement page on their website, they have not mentioned any specific tasks that the AI studio will be doing. It only states that they will be only using Gen AI to improve efficiency and expand on the creator's creativity. So consequently, the worries from the players about using Gen AI just keeps on rising. However, are there any legitimate reasons for Cygames to use Gen AI in their game development? Well, first I want to point out is that there is more than just art in video games. There are different components during the development of video games, like the obvious one being the programming, where the use of AI can be largely beneficial during the development, either eliminating some tedious procedures, optimizing codes, fixing bugs, and lots of different things that I probably don't know about. The use of AI can drastically increase the work efficiency in many cases, and most of the time it is beneficial to everyone. Not once have I ever heard about someone saying that using AI for coding is bad. Before I move on to the second point, I just want to be clear that I do not condone the use of art drawn by real artists being used for AI training. However, there are different ways for people to use Gen AI during their creative creation process in different ways, such as finding references of a subject or using it to explore ideas. Gen AI may come in handy during the early stages of development, like have a visual representation of their rough idea. And this might be the main goal of Cygames AI Studio. Although the use of Gen AI for exploring ideas is viable, it will never change the fact that Gen AI is still developed based on taking existing work of real artists. Once we know that Gen AI is used somewhere during the development, then everything the developer puts out may be questioned with, is this whole thing done by AI? Labeling everything as made by AI even if that may not be the case. This is how bad an image of using AI it is right now in the consumer side of the entertainment. And for whatever reasons, Cygames decides to announce their AI studio now while being at one of their most successful periods. Despite any amount of benefit of the doubt that the players can give to Cygames, there is now a crack in the trust between the players and the company. Why would Cygames make such a decision? If you haven't noticed yet, every company is now jumping into the big AI train. Companies in all different fields are investing into AIs in an attempt to make more money, despite the fact that many companies probably don't even need AI at this moment. How exactly will companies benefit from using AI may vary, but one certain point is that using AI can replace workers, meaning that a company can cut down the costs in their operations. And since hiring people is usually the most expensive cost for the companies, that is why everywhere you go now you will see something like powered with AI, your AI assistant, or whatever it is that a company advertised their AI technology as. Cygames, despite being one of the most successful game development company, wouldn't want to give up on the share of this rising market. This is how I perceive the AI Studio announcement. It is not an announcement for individuals or people who play their games, but it is letting the investors know publicly that, hey, we're doing AI now, want to invest in us? In the end, Cygames is a company, and their goal is and will always be making as much money as possible. This may not apply to the people who actually make the games, but it is certainly the goal for the higher-ups of the company. Yet, whoever decides to make this decision in Cygames really needs to connect with their audience. With how bad the use of Gen AI is in the gaming industry is perceived right now, it is just not the best time for them to announce what they're doing, and the backlash is real. While making this video, Cygames made another official statement on January 14, 2026 in regard to the backlash in both Japanese and English, stating the following.
To all our Cygames fans and supporters, over the past few days, we've received numerous comments expressing anger and disappointment from many of you. This was because we released a simplified announcement in Japanese concerning the founding of Cygames AI Studio, Inc.
Without addressing any of the current problems and social debates surrounding generative AI, we sincerely apologize for the concern we've caused. We would like to take this opportunity to state that art produced from generative AI isn't used in our products. Furthermore, we won't implement generative AI into our products without prior notice. We hold in the highest regard those who love games, as well as the dignity, passion, and heart of the creators and artists who act as the architects of gaming culture. The art for all current Cygames games and other products is crafted from the technical know-how and manual work of our many staff members. Once again, we deeply apologize for causing our beloved fans much grief and anxiety.
So first thing, it is certain that Cygames is receiving some real backlash in all directions, not just some internet drama, but enough PR pressure to come out and make this statement just 6 days after the first announcement. To summarize the statement, we didn't use Gen AI for our work, we won't use Gen AI for our work, trust us, and sorry. As the result, some people give support to Cygames, some people don't care, and some people still lost their trust with Cygames. The issue with using Gen AI is that the average individual will never know which part of the game used AI and which didn't. Developers can use Gen AI in their work and get away with it completely. But once the developer or the company openly states that they will be using Gen AI in their work, or in Cygames' case, a whole AI studio, there is almost no way that they will be able to isolate their work from AI anymore. Their credibility is thrown out of the window once they stated that they will be using Gen AI. Otherwise, a game development company wouldn't need to have a whole AI studio if they aren't using AI in their work. But like I said earlier, there are different ways to use AI in the creative space, and it is possible that Cygames won't have any Gen AI results in their product. However, there's a really interesting part of the statement that I want to highlight is the sentence that we won't implement generative AI into our product without prior notice. The prior notice. And this phrase almost certainly means that there will be Gen AI in their product in some form or another. Who thought saying this would calm the backlash down? Also, one more thing that I would like to point out is that the Japanese version of the statement, there is no mention of without prior notice. It is just not there. The Japanese statement only states that they won't be putting out contents generated by AI. This created more suspicion on whether Cygames will use Gen AI in their product or not. Although it could also be a translation mistake where they never intended to have the phrase without prior notice in the English statement. All these will eventually lead to a complete distrust between the players and any product that Cygames put out in the future. Unless Cygames specify what their AI studio will be doing, they will never get out of the label of Gen AI for any of the future products that they put out. The whole existence of the AI studio just makes it impossible not to link their product with Gen AI. Nothing Cygames does at this moment will recover the trust that they broke for some players. The only possible way Cygames may get out of this situation is to throw away the AI studio completely and make some kind of apology to the players like, oh, we messed up, sorry. To be fair, implementing AI tools during game development isn't a bad decision. Like I mentioned, AI is a great tool when it comes to programming and everyone can benefit from it. What many people cannot accept is the fact of using Gen AI for image and art. And it is really understandable why that is. AI-generated images steals artists' work without authorization. It takes away their job in exchange for some kind of cheap, sloppy product. While some people may feel that it is alright to use Gen AI for exploring ideas, some may never accept the fact that Gen AI is being used. It is really up to what extent of Gen AI was used. The prime example that happened recently is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Long story short, Expedition 33 was caught using assets that appeared to be AI generated. It was the newspapers on a pole in the background. They fixed it right away once players found out, and it was kind of forgotten until the game award happened. It is a very small component of the game, and many players didn't mind about it because Gen AI wasn't used on the important part of the game. And I would say that overall the case was perceived pretty well by the players, and I believe this is what Cygames is aiming for. To put into other perspective, Cygames is honest in admitting that they will be using Gen AI in their development. It is highly possible that many other game development companies already implemented Gen AI and presented the Gen AI products. If the product itself is polished enough, no one will ever notice the product was made by AI. Average players like you and I might already be playing games that are developed with Gen AI in some form or another, and we just don't know about it. This also signifies that if Gen AI is able to make a product good enough, consumers might just not care. As a consumer myself, I don't want to be consuming AI-generated stuff, especially from large companies. There are different standards for content made by different groups of people. In the end, it will be interesting to see the future of Cygames. Will the backlash affect Cygames' revenue, or would the AI studio actually become beneficial to the company? At this point, no one can really predict what will happen next. There might be a downfall, there might be a growth, or there might be no change at all. Maybe the loyal players will still continue to support with their money, and everything would just be a huge internet drama. I don't know. What do you think about Cygames and their AI studios? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? That's about it. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Bye bye.